Pfizer has begun a late-stage study of its COVID-19 vaccine candidate. It will include 30,000 people from across the U.S. and several other countries. And another drug maker, Moderna, is also running a vaccine trial. Newsy's health reporter Lindsay Thies joins us now with more.
That's right, Lauren. So both of these late-stage vaccine trials include participant polls of 30,000 people. The goal really here with those large numbers is to see how this vaccine candidate will impact different groups. Main goal, though, is to see if significantly fewer individuals who are vaccinated contract COVID-19. That would determine for scientists whether or not it would be helpful in preventing the illness.
And a little feeling of pressure.
The biggest COVID-19 vaccine study is underway. This week, researchers began testing 30,000 test subjects in the NIH's and drug maker Moderna's phase 3 clinical trials. What can those test subjects expect? Ask Neil Browning.
I feel like it's my duty.
Browning was part of Moderna's phase 1 COVID vaccine trial. In March, he rolled up his sleeve as one of 45 original participants.
What made you want to participate in this trial?
Well, I felt that the risks seemed minimal compared to all the research and the data that I was given and the questions that I had asked and had answered, coupled with discussing it with my fiance and mom, who are both in the medical industry.
In that initial study, researchers tested the shot on healthy participants to make sure what dose is safe and doesn't have serious side effects. From there, the drug maker's next phases of clinical trials test more people to learn more about side effects in other age groups.
It's probably one of the reasons this is a 2-dose vaccine, because we clearly want to protect older people and people who are frail with chronic underlying illnesses. Very important that the vaccine work in those populations.
If someone signs up and participates, they will be tested at one of 89 clinical sites across the U.S. and will receive 2 shots, the initial vaccine and then a booster 28 days later. It will be either a placebo or will include a 100 microgram dose of something called messenger RNA.
They take normal human cells that would normally be produced in my body, and the RNA is given a set of instructions to that handful of cells to build spike proteins on the outside of the cell when it's made to mimic and look just like COVID-19. The idea is the body will see this as an invader, even though it's one of my cells. It'll have an immunoresponse, and it will start learning to build T cells, antibodies, and how to surround this cell and allow white blood cells to then capture and destroy them.
Browning got 2 shots, a low dose of the initial messenger RNA vaccine and a booster 4 weeks later. He did daily symptom journaling and temperature checks and goes in for an occasional blood draw to see if there are any side effects. He's got 3 more to go. So far, he says he hasn't had any side effects.
My upper arm at the injection site was very slightly sore, but honestly, it was not nearly the soreness I felt before in getting other immunizations and flu shots.
The Moderna NIH vaccine is one of 25 in clinical trials around the world. Some experts anticipate if everything goes right, the results of these Moderna trials would come out sometime in the first quarter of 2021, which differs from the NIH's timeline of having a vaccine by the end of 2020.
Wouldn't we love a vaccine by the end of 2020? Lindsay, what have results been like so far for this Moderna NIH vaccine?
Yeah, Lauren, well, that initial study that Neil Browning and 44 others took part in showed that the shots that they were given really kind of revved up participants' immune systems in a way that scientists believe could help be preventative against COVID-19. Side effects, always important to talk about. The participants in that study experienced things like chills, fever, and some minor pain at the injection site.
So if all goes according to plan, how many vaccine doses could be distributed?
That is really the important thing if all does go according to plan, right? Moderna is saying somewhere between the 500 million and 1 billion mark. They are adding the caveat, though, per year starting 2021.
And I know that this is one of many trials. Are there other vaccine trials that are in or near the final stages in the U.S.?
Absolutely. We can pretty much anticipate every month now throughout the fall to see another one of these 30,000 participant pool trials. The Oxford vaccine, which has been getting a lot of publicity lately, they will be entering the final stages of their study in August. Johnson & Johnson is looking towards September, and then Novavax is looking towards October. Again, though, the key thing here is if everything goes according to plan, and there's so many unknowns with this virus.
Well, fingers crossed, prayers to whomever so that we can get something by the end of this year. Health reporter Lindsay Thies in Denver, thank you.